I feel like one of the hardest things about growing up is realizing that nobody really knows what they're doing. When I was younger, I imagined adults as these people who have everything figured out already. I felt that they knew exactly what career they wanted, exactly where they wanted to live, exactly what they wanted to become, and they've always seemed so sure and so certain about everything. But one day, as you get older, you realize that it's not true at all. Most people are genuinely just improvising, and most people are just figuring out things one day at a time. But if I'm being honest, I feel like there's just something really beautiful about that. We put pressure on ourselves to have our lives together. At 17, 18, 19, maybe even 25, we somehow figure out a way to convince ourselves that we should already know our purpose. And I feel like we start to compare ourselves to other people. We compare progress, friendships, bodies, achievements, and even happiness. We look at someone online and think, they're already there. But then I stop and question it. What is there? Every time I've asked someone older for any type of advice, I've noticed a pattern. They're still learning, they're still changing, and they're still scared. They're still discovering things about themselves. And it makes me realize that maybe, just maybe, life wasn't supposed to be solved, but maybe just explored. And I think that's what makes life beautiful. Not certainty, but curiosity. The fact that tomorrow can completely change who you are, and the fact that a random conversation can alter your perspective forever. The fact that one decision can create an entirely different version of yourself. And it makes me think that maybe we're not behind. I feel like we're exactly where we're supposed to be. I know a lot of people, and including myself, struggle with the idea that we're wasting time. We think that if we're not constantly productive, we're failing. If we're not successful immediately, we're failing. If we don't know our purpose yet, we're failing. But then you stop and think, who even created these rules? Like, actually, who decided that life was supposed to be a race? I'm only 17, but the older I get, the more I realize that life feels a lot better when you just start treating it like one. Sometimes the best moments happen when you're not trying to chase anything, like at all. It could be a late night drive, a random laugh with somebody, discovering a new hobby, going on a walk, I don't know, watching the sky, listening to music, mowing your lawn, I don't know. These tiny moments become memories that you never planned for. And I think that's another thing that maybe nobody tells you. Life isn't built from like giant moments. I feel like it's just built from a bunch of tiny ones. Thousands of like tiny memories just stacked on top of each other. And this might be incorrect, but I feel like a lot of people are just afraid to admit when they're lost. This is including me. I want to appear confident. I want to appear like I have a plan. But if I'm being completely honest, being lost is one of the most human things you can experience. Because if you're lost, then wouldn't that mean you're searching? That means you're growing, you're moving, and movement is always better than just standing still out of fear. If I'm being honest, I spent a lot of time worrying about the future. Who I'll become? What do people think of me? Will I be successful? And will I ever find a place in the world? But I start to realize that worrying about the future is strange because you're borrowing stress from a life that hasn't even happened yet. You don't know who you'll become. And I feel that that's okay. Because maybe future you is happier than you could ever imagine. Maybe future you is doing things that you never expected. But you'll never meet that version of yourself if you spend your entire life just being scared. One of the greatest acts of courage is allowing yourself to be unfinished. To say, I don't know yet. I'm still learning. I'm still becoming somebody. Because that's what we're doing. We're becoming every single day. Ah, sorry. Maybe one day we'll just all look back and realize that there was never anything wrong with not having anything figured out. And maybe it was the point all along. As a lot of people say, the beauty wasn't at the destination. The beauty is in becoming the person who eventually gets there. I stole that, by the way. So, if you're watching this and you feel behind in life, or you feel lost, or maybe uncertain, you feel like someone else is ahead of you, I'm gonna be honest, you're not alone. I feel the same exact way. But to that, I also say that you don't need to have the answers today. And you don't need to have your entire future planned already. You don't need to know exactly who you're going to become. I say, just keep moving. One day at a time, one small step at a time, one perception at a time. And well, maybe years from now, we'll look back and smile at the fact that we thought we needed everything figured out. Because I feel like the beauty of life was never having everything figured out at all. It was just living there, existing, changing, and becoming. I hope you enjoy this little rant and like my perspective on this. And it is my first video, so I apologize if there's any errors. I'll definitely try to fix it. But as I said, I'm just here to document my thought process and hope that people relate to me. So I'll see you next time.